And hello, one and all, and welcome to my first ever review for the second season, the debut episode for Lucha Underground. This is my first time ever watching an episode of Lucha Underground. I was able to check out the Ultima Lucha pay-per-view special that they had on the internet several weeks ago, and I was completely blown away by it. And I knew as soon as I watched that special, that I had to find a way to catch season 2 of Lucha Underground, because I was hearing all types of great things about it, how it is one of the best, if not the best, professional wrestling shows out there today, and I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, it's different, it's a unique show. They have great wrestlers, good storylines, a different presentation, good commentary. All in all, this is a good product to watch, and I'm glad that I was able to watch this on the Rey Network. Actually, I don't have access to the Rey Network on my Verizon Fios cable system, but I was able to watch it through Fubo TV. That's Fubo TV. Type that into Google search and pull it up. It's $9.99 per month. Rey Network is included as one of the channels in that package. So if you don't have access to the Rey Network and are looking for a way to watch Lucha Underground on a weekly basis, I recommend Fubo TV. Good quality, and didn't really suffer any lag throughout the show tonight. So with that, let's get into what took place tonight on Lucha Underground. But to open the show, we kicked things off with a Vampiro promo. Basically, Vampiro was in this psychiatric evaluation, being evaluated by this doctor, and basically they were recalling events from the Vampiro Pentagon Jr. match that happened at Ultima Lucha. And basically the doctor tells Vampiro that he needs to stay away from people and the places that make him go into this violent sense of rage. And then we see the doctor wanting to prescribe him this prescription drug, psychiatric drug, and then we see Vampiro playing out a scenario where he just attacks the doctor, goes crazy, and just starts beating the shit out of everyone. But however, it's all just in his mind. Then the doctor asks him if there's anyone that picks him up. Then we cut to Matt Striker saying that, you ready to go back to the temple? And Vampiro says the temple is now a darker place. And they head off, and away we go into season 2 of Lucha Underground. And immediately we are shown Katarina in her brand new office, and Phoenix is there. Basically Phoenix says that he's there to challenge Mil Muertes for his Lucha Underground championship. But Katarina tells Phoenix that tonight he will be defending his Gift of the Gods championship, against King Cuerno. So that would eventually lead us into our first match, which was Phoenix versus King Cuerno for the Gift of the Gods championship. Now, right off the bat, this was really high pace, high octane match. Really good match between these two guys. Don't know a lot about them, but I really liked what I saw in this match. Very hard hitting, physical punches and kicks and all that back and forth. There was a nice spot where Phoenix connected with a corkscrew splash onto Cuerno on the outside, so that was really, really good spot. The victory eventually came when Cuerno was able to counter with the Tombstone Inverted Package Pile Driver to pick up the victory, and therefore the new Gift of the Gods champion is King Cuerno. So good opening match, good way to set the pace for tonight's show, and the show did not slow down. This was a good match for a good episode of Lucha Underground. Then we have another backstage segment with Katarina, Son of Havoc, Angelico, and Ivelisse. Basically, they say that Ivelisse says that she's ready to get their Trios championship back. And Katarina says that's not going to happen because Mil Muertes has instructions for all three of them. He wants to see them fight each other. and eventually they agree to it. And Katarina informs everyone that Mil Muertes will put his title on the line against this match in which they will all have to fight each other. So that would eventually set up for the triple threat match between Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico in order to determine who would face Mil Muertes for the for the Lucha Underground Heavyweight Championship. This was a really good triple threat match. It was definitely different seeing, women fighting men, but hey, I was okay with it, didn't have a problem with it. And these guys and girls worked really well and put on a good triple threat match. And I was surprised to see that Ivelisse was able to get the cradle pin on Angelico, and she was your victor, so she would eventually move on to face Mil Muertes for the Lucha Underground Heavyweight Championship in the main event. So it was a good triple threat match, good effort from all parties involved. Then we had a backstage, another segment with Angela Fong. She was seen basically with these group of frat boys, and they were looking for this underground fight club, Lucha Underground, and they were wondering, looking for directions to it. And Fong basically says, come with me, I'll show you where you need to go. So they would eventually set up for what happens at the end of the show. And then our third match, and our main event of the evening, was Mil Muertes defending his Lucha Underground Championship versus Ivelisse. And before the match could even begin, we had the Disciples of Death come out. They cleared the ring. They laid up a Son of Havoc and Angelico, and Muertes would shove Ivelisse to the corner, and he would hit a backbreaker on her. So right off the bat, Ivelisse was going to be in for... This was going to be a tough match, and I was unsure if she would be able to beat Mil Muertes. He's a very big, physical, imposing wrestler. Ivelisse took a lot of punishment in this match. She was able to get some offense, and she did hit a... I believe it was... Was it the cross arm breaker on the ropes? Something like that. She had his arm locked in the ropes. Eventually, Muertes was able to pull her head up and hit her against the ropes. But there was a really nice spot. Yes, it was a cross arm breaker. And there was a really nice spot where Katarina came into the ring, and Ivelisse was able to move out of the way. Muertes accidentally speared her. Crowd goes crazy. But Muertes kicked out after Ivelisse rolled him up for 2. And then Muertes was able to hit a power slam and then hit the flatliner to pick up the victory. After the match, it looked like Katarina was going to give her what she calls it, the lick of death. However, Katarina orders Muertes to hit Ivelisse with another flatliner. And then we have Prince Puma coming out, and he super kicks Muertes, and he gives him the Fujiwara armbar, and it looks like it breaks Muertes' arm. So, still your Lucha Underground champion is Mil Muertes. Like I said, just a different match to see, a man versus a woman. But like I said, Ivelisse, she played the role of the underdog really well, put up a good fight against Muertes, but obviously to no avail. So, I enjoyed this match. And afterwards, we have one last segment. Dario Cuerno returns, and he basically runs into Fong and the frat boys, and Fong just starts beating up the boys, and they are now forced to give Cuerno $20 in order to enter the Lucha Underground temple. And then one of the guys says to Cuerno, who are we fighting tonight? And Cuerno says, or who's fighting tonight, excuse me. And Cuerno says, you are. And that's how we go off the air. Sorry for not being, too knowledgeable about the product. Like I said, this was only my first time watching Lucha Underground, but I really enjoyed this show from start to finish. It was really probably the fastest hour of wrestling I've watched in a long, long time, and definitely I will be a fan of Lucha Underground from here on out, and hopefully my knowledge of the product will continue to increase with continued viewing. But for tonight's Season 2 episode, premiere episode, I'm going to give it an A-. Really enjoyed this show. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Lucha Underground Season 2. Let me know down in the comments section what you thought of Lucha Underground. And like I said, I will include that link to Fubo TV if you're interested in watching the Rey Network and you don't have access to it. So thank you all for watching this video. Please click that like and subscribe button for more video content coming to the channel. And with that, I am out. Peace.